領域展開無料空所
What's good, people? It's your boy LTG Local Track Gaming. You already know, baby. On the Track Con Game. Today we back with another Gigguk video. Okay, Isekai is great, actually. Now we did a Demon Slayer one, and y'all seem to fuck with it. I ain't gonna lie, we got a couple thousand on that one. So I said, you know what, we're gonna bring it back. Okay, do another one. I believe this is the second most recent one. I believe before that Demon Slayer one. So let's see what this one's about. Isekai is great. Let's go ahead and dive on it. You guys enjoyed today's reaction. Smash that like button. Comment down below what you guys think. And last but not least, subscribe to your boy because on the road to 10K, people. Spin me up. We do this weekly. Amen. Talk to me, Gigguk. Talk to me. Oh, shit.
Art, I don't want to alarm you. Gigguk is talking about Isekai again!
In the beginning,
there
was darkness.
Okay.
And then God said, boom, let there be light. So he created Sword Art Online.
Okay.
This happened in the prehistoric era.
I ain't gonna lie, for the longest of me, bro, I didn't even know what an Isekai was, bro. I did not understand what it was like. Like, I didn't know the difference between, like, shonens and stuff like that and all that.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, I didn't understand, like what was the difference between, like, a shonen and all that stuff. Like, I knew about Shonen Jump. I didn't know the difference of, like, the different genres and shit.
2012. By now, we all know the origin story of the modern isekai genre and how it's come to saturate the anime market. It's been almost a decade since the initial isekai boom, so you'd think after all this time, audiences would finally start to get bored, and yet somehow we don't seem to be getting less, we seem to be getting more.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, bruh. And a lot of them have weird titles. Not even weird titles, long titles. It's kind of weird.
So that begs the question, if you're not watching Isekai, and you're not watching Isekai, and you're not watching Isekai, then who's watching all the Isekai? It's me. I watched a lot of Isekai last year, and I know I've played my part in giving the genre the image that it has, but I honestly think
that solo leveling video, we're doing that one next.
That the genre might be on the path to a brighter future. Don't mind me, just taking my daily dose of copium. I think 2021 was one of the strongest years for Isekai for, like, possibly the history of Isekai. And like, I thought we all agreed that the genre was already stale like 5 years ago. So today I thought I'd break down just what's going on with Isekai today, why I think it's here to stay, and the number one thing I still absolutely hate about the genre. Spoiler alert, it's not what you think it is. Yeah, that was enough clickbait in that intro, right? But before we get to that, a quick word from our sponsor. Hey there.
This nigga got a sponsor every video. I can respect it though. I can 100% respect it.
Post for sponsoring this video. Alright, weebs. Back to Isekai. I swear to God, this isn't Stockholm Syndrome the video, alright? It's no secret that Isekai doesn't really have the best reputation among anime fans, and I absolutely see why. The same bland, overpowered protagonist being transported or reincarnated or summoned to that same RPG world with the same harem living the same self-insert power fantasy. The Isekai genre definitely went through an extended phase where we got some shit. Like, a lot of shit. Like, stinky, poopy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I really still shouldn't find this funny. Sure, there were outliers that stood out, but a lot of us got bored of the scene very, very, very quickly. And if you ever wondered why...
I would say, like, most of them seem like you watch one, you watch them all type beats, but... I mean, who knows?
Was ever like this, then you have one place to blame. Sure Setsuni Naro. This is a site where users can post their own web novels for others to read, kind of like the YouTube of light novels. ReZero, Slime, Soma Spider, Overlord, Mushoku Tensei, Shield Hero, Konosuba. If there's an isekai, big or small, that's come out in the last 10 years, it's probably come from here. So when I'm talking about modern isekai, what I'm really referring to is Naroke, or stories that have come from this one site. And if you look at the stories that have been adapted from here, you'll basically see how much it's had an effect on the modern isekai culture. If you've ever wondered why a lot of modern light novel adaptations feel so fucking homogenous, isekai or not, it's probably because the source material originated from here. And if I'm allowed to put my tinfoil hat on for a moment...
They're not from mangas? Is that what he's trying to say? Or am I tripping?
and speculate based on other sites with user-generated content. All of this kind of makes sense. Remember when Casey Neistat started posting and then every YouTuber vlog needed to be a Casey Neistat style video? Or when Mr. Beast blew up and then everyone to this day is still trying to market their videos like a cheap copy of Mr. Beast? Well, imagine the same kind of influence between creators being permeated through an entire generation of web novel authors on a single site, and suddenly you understand why a lot of isekai and fantasy stories feel like they are copying from each other. Why do light novel titles sound so fucking dumb? Well, it's because they are literally clickbait to get users to click on their story, like
That's
you see with YouTube videos.
crazy.
Except imagine if our YouTube videos get turned into professionally published works and you're stuck with titles like I got addicted to VTubers and regret everything. Honestly, that's not a bad title for a light novel. Content creators will naturally gravitate towards the type of content they see doing well no matter what platform they're on. It's something we see with any site. YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Does that excuse the amount of mediocrity that's come from there? No, but it does give a bit of an insight into why so many isekai were made and sets the stage for the state of the genre today. Recently, it really feels like the isekai anime being adapted has finally started to find its own footing, and we're moving past the point where shows were defined by a single cheap gimmick. Well, we're in another world, except this guy has a smartphone, and this guy has a mum, and this guy has a vibrator. Instead, more often, I think we're seeing actual interesting concepts that get explored in more depth, like people are starting to realize that audiences want more than just the same power fantasy show with some dumb fuck gimmick. Slime Season 2 took its premise and then fully leaned.
What is happening? What is happening with this?
To becoming a civilization type city builder where Rimuru actually encounters problems he can't just solve with force, makes hard decisions, makes mistakes, and then fully suffers the consequence of it. The world's finest assassin said, let's isekai John Wick. If you take someone who's already skilled and powerful in the real world, how would he use his skills and knowledge to break the systems presented in the fantasy world? What happens when a goddess isekais more than one person to get the job done? What will the majority of people do? Realist Hero takes a really interesting look at what happens if we take modern psychology and apply it to governing a medieval fantasy setting. Machiavellianism, game theory. Eventually in the manga, it gets to the point where we're using examples from the Cold War, capitalism, fighting communism. The main character takes lessons we've learned from our own history and applies what has historically worked for us in another world. These are just some of the interesting ideas I came across with the shows this year, and many of them, aside from the basic premise and setting, explored totally different subjects and ideas. Like now, just because you see several isekai airing in a single season, that's no indicator that the shows will actually have anything in common with each other. Mushoku Tensei, Re:Zero, My Next Life as a Villainess, Sentence of a Bookworm, Restaurant in Another World. These are all isekai set in your traditional fantasy world.
These titles, man. Restaurant in Another World.
Are completely independent of each other in plot, tone, characters, and appeal. I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years has more in common with Dragon Maid than it does with the other isekai with slime in the title. Is there still a lot of garbage being made? Yes, but it's no longer as relevant.
Wait. This is like these titles, bro. I've been killing slime. Like, that's what he said?
Appeal. I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 Years has more in common with
That's a title? Bruh.
Dragon Maid than it does with the other isekai with slime in the title. Is there still a lot of garbage being made? Yes, but it's no longer as relevant to look at a new show and say, it's not like your typical isekai, because a lot of isekai are no longer like your typical isekai. I don't know if this is sounding like massive isekai copium right now, so I just want to go on a little tangent to look at what I think might be a similar case that happened for gaming, the shooter genre. I remember when these first exploded onto the scene and you couldn't get away from them. Halo revolutionized console shooters, setting the blueprint that many modern shooters still use to this day. Halo 2 set the stage for online gaming, only for Call of Duty 4 to skyrocket shooters into the mainstream, and from there on, there was no turning back. Your friends started playing shooters, your brothers and sisters and your cousins started playing shooters. Heck, I think I even caught a glimpse of your grandma playing Search and Destroy on Terminal once. Shooters were absolutely inescapable, and there was a point where I swear every big game released was a shooter or had some kind of fucking shooter mechanics in it. Shooter after shooter after shooter after shooter. It was like we were getting the same copy and paste game from every big company trying to cash in on a quick.
I ain't grow about shooters though, man. That's why I'm not really into them like that.
Buck. Oversaturation was a real thing, and gamers were getting visibly fatigued by them all. So, 20 years later, what do we have to show for it?
More shooters.
Well, Halo's got a grapple hook now. As tired as we got of shooters, they never really went anywhere, but instead carved out its own corner in the industry that is still consistent to this day. Did we get another COD 4 or Halo Combat Evolved? No, but what we did get was small tweaks and innovations that slowly meant that different shooters could find their own niche. You want something more on a grand scale of battles with vehicles? Well, go play Battlefield. Want something more team-based and tactical? Well, Counter-Strike and Rainbow Six is a thing. Colorful abilities? How about Overwatch? Battle Royale 2? Well, good thing Apex exists. Oh, you just want to see your childhood ruined? Well, there's still Fortnite.
God.
I don't know why Itachi gets so much flack for murdering
Fuck
the Uchiha
Fortnite.
clan, where Sasuke right here is quite clearly
Jesus
murdering their entire
Christ.
legacy. The term shooter in the first place is such a broad term for a game where you point at something, then click a button for that object to commit die. And I think this could be what Isekai is turning into for anime. Isekai could just become a staple of anime, the same way that high school is. There are hundreds, if not
Well,
thousands of
I love
anime
it.
shows set in high school, but that doesn't mean that any two shows are gonna have anything in common with each other. If anything, I just wish these shows put in a little bit more effort to at least look more distinct. You look at some genres in anime and you're like, damn, all of these have such distinct style and feeling to them, and then you look at Isekai and you're like,
All Kirito's.
They're the same picture.
it's like every show is still using the same two character designers with the same fucking color palette that just melds into one conglomeration of generic mess that makes it impossible to discern any of these shows at just a glance. But you know what?
Especially, yeah, no, hold on.
Generic mess that makes it impossible to discern any
This, yeah. Like, come on.
of these shows at just a
This is
glance.
crazy.
But you know what? Baby steps. At this point, Isekai is just comfort food for me. Sometimes it is still the same copy and paste show. Yes, there is still a lot of trash
but
out
you
there,
like
but
it,
more
though.
often now
You
you'll
like the
find these
genre,
neat
you
little
just like the
ideas
genre.
packaged into the same familiar formula you've seen that will make you take a step back and think, huh, that was actually pretty damn fun. I'm not saying Isekai suddenly turned over a new leaf, but what I'm saying is in 2021 it didn't feel as cheap anymore, and there was more variety than ever for a genre that is apparently all the same. I do think it still has one massive problem, but it's just not the one everyone seems to complain about. Because to me, the one biggest thing I wish would change is that there needs to be an isekai that has an ending. In almost a decade of the genre, I don't think I've seen a single one come to a conclusion, and it's kind of getting to.
He is on to something. Oh my god. Sword Art Online doesn't have an ending. None of these have an ending. That's so crazy. No, didn't ReZero end? ReZero's an erased? Right? Let's hear him out.
A decade of the genre, I don't think I've seen a single one come to a conclusion, and it's kind of getting to me. Pretty much the only ones I can think of are shows that came before the modern boom. All of them, even the so-called good ones, don't feel like they've gotten anywhere close to being finished. No Game No Life, more like no Season 2 no more. Overlord? Yeah. Overlord of half a fucking kingdom. Rising of the Shield Hero? Yeah, this is more like the slight incline of the Shield Hero.
Wow.
ReZero? More like zero chance of ever seeing this end. Okay, that was awful. My problem with modern isekai
Well,
isn't
that
that they are
ended
bad. It's that they're so damn disposable. We start with one isekai, have a bit of fun, and then just move on to the next one, and then forget about all of them. It feels like
That's
a lot of the
kinda
times
crazy,
writers
man.
come in with a single interesting idea, explore it, and then have no idea where to go, so the readers lose interest or the writer just stops. I've
That's
seen
kinda
so many
crazy.
heroes journeying to take on a demon lord, and not a single one has ever reached his doorstep. There doesn't feel like there's anything close to a complete story, and instead of focusing on finishing one, it feels like the focus for anime is making 6 more. And because of this, nothing has any staying power. We don't see any stories reach their maturity, and because of this, it becomes so vapid. Mushoku Tensei, ReZero, Overlord, it's
I don't know if I can get into them then, y'all, cause like I like it when a story ends, right? You know what I'm saying? I like it. I like closure. You know, things, right? You know what I'm saying? Now I know I watch One Piece, and I know that's been going on forever. You know what I'm saying? But I know there's gonna be an ending. Hopefully, I don't think Oda would let anything like Boruto stuff like ruin their shit, but like there's an ending, you know? Like we're getting, I know there's gonna be an ending. I know we're getting to what's called, unless some shit gets canceled or rushed, and then like with Bleach or whatever. But I mean, Bleach still had an ending, but you know what I'm saying? I need an ending, bro. I need closure.
series
That's what
like
I need.
these where you can see the foundations being laid for a full-blown tale. There is depth, there is characters, there's a thought-out world behind it. It feels like these shows are actually trying to tell a full story rather than coming in with a few interesting ideas and fucking off. ReZero just spent an entire fucking season in one place so they could say, hey, let's have Subaru stop dying so cheaply, let's make Amelia an actual character. And while a lot of people may have found the slower progression boring, I respect the fact that I had the confidence to spend the time to really flesh out sides of these characters we never got to see in season 1. And Mushoku Tensei is, well, you already know how I feel about Mushoku Tensei. If there was a show that could lead the charge for all the changes I wanted to see, this could be it. Because unlike most other isekai, the source material is already done. Yes, it has a fucking ending. That's why I hope to God that these types of shows will get the chance to fully follow through with the story they want to tell. Like your Attack on Titans, My Hero Academias, and Demon Slayers, they get the seasons, all the seasons they rightfully deserve, because I don't feel like we're even close to reaching the peaks these stories could tell, and I think it's only when we do get the chance to see some of these peaks that Isekai can start being taken more seriously. I think this is the one thing single-handedly stopping Isekai from eating at the big boys table, where we don't have to feel like pointing at these shows we like and say, no guys, this is a good show for an Isekai, and instead just saying, no guys, this is just a good show. In conclusion, Isekai will never die. It just gets reincarnated into another Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that.
Okay, I'm pretty sure he's done. That's pretty interesting video. These guys, like, they have great concepts and great ideas, but that whole thing about it not ending, it kind of like hit me. I ain't gonna lie, like, that's kind of crazy. They don't end. Then now I think about it, I only hear niggas talk about Isekai animes. I don't ever hear them talk about the mangas or nothing like that, which is kind of crazy, bro. I mean, I don't know. I might get into a few Isekais. See, I heard Konosuba was pretty funny, so I might watch that one. But, you know, I mean, hey, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is a good one. The next one I'm going to do is a solo leveling shit, because I am very interested in solo leveling. If that ever gets anime, I'm really going to be hyped for that. Or if we watch that video, it might be good enough, and I might just, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and dive into that. But without further ado, man, we're going to get up out of here. Y'all enjoyed today's reaction, smash that like button. Comment down below what you guys think. Last but not least, subscribe to your boy, because y'all know road to 10K, people. Spin me up. Do this weekly. Amen. Catch you on the next one. You already know. I'm out. Deuces. Bye.